Hello and welcome to The Bottom Line on TVP World. This is where we unpack some of the main business and economic stories of the day. I'm your host, Marie Cato. So we've heard Elon Musk, the left-wing favorite turned Republican darling and the richest man in the world, is experiencing some business troubles. Tesla's sales are tumbling and share prices have hit an all-time low. Is it down to Chinese competition or Musk dabbling in politics that has put his customers off? Let's see what the numbers tell us.
This is the aftermath of a fire at a Tesla dealership in Rome on Monday that destroyed 17 cars. Several hours later, activists were seen vandalizing Tesla dealerships in Berlin and Stockholm. And in the US, thousands of people took part in nationwide demonstrations outside Tesla showrooms and service centres. The protests were directed against the company's CEO, Elon Musk, and his role in Donald Trump's administration.
People think that he, as a CEO and co-owner Tesla, should focus just on the business instead of being a politician.
In an interview with Fox News, Musk expressed frustration over the impact his role as head of DOGE, a department tasked with cutting public spending, has on his companies.
It's actually disadvantages for me to be in the government, not advantages. My companies are suffering because I'm in the government.
Musk's political involvement is one of the reasons Tesla shares have plunged 35% this year, one of the steepest declines ever recorded by an S&P 500 blue-chip stock over such a short period.
For a while, Elon Musk was the driving force behind Tesla's brand equity, and now we can say that he's actually contributing to its decline and erosion. And remember, brand images take a long time to build up, and when they're destroyed or unraveled, it takes a while to rebuild them.
As a result, there's a growing choir of people calling for Musk's resignation, among them Ross Gerber, an early investor in Tesla, who recently said,
"It's time for somebody to run Tesla. The business has been neglected for too long."
However, Musk's government ties aren't the only factor hurting Tesla.
The Tesla range has grown considerably, but now it's a bit old-fashioned. The renewal of models is not very dynamic, nor are there any new models announced in the immediate future.
In effect, Tesla's shares in the first quarter have dropped in many markets by as much as 50%. In China, meanwhile, sales have plummeted by half since the beginning of the year, as more affordable, domestically made EVs dominate. To counter this trend, Musk has pledged to shorten delivery times for the refreshed Model Y by ramping up production at the Shanghai Gigafactory and offering interest-free loans to buyers.
At the moment, the automotive market is distinguished by its dynamism in the flowering of models arriving from everywhere, be it Europe, China or elsewhere.
And it gets worse because some are starting to worry that Musk's business ties to China pose a security risk for the US government.
Mr. Musk's business dealings in China could require him to hand over sensitive classified information learned either through his business interest or his proximity to President-elect Donald Trump.
One question remains: how long Musk can uphold his governmental positions without driving his business portfolio to ruin?
So what is the crux of Tesla's problem? Is it Elon Musk's controversial reputation? Is it the questionable quality of Tesla's cars emerging combined with the market competition that is leading customers elsewhere? And might Elon Musk have to choose Doge or Tesla at some point? Let's find out more with Piotr Wyderski, a car industry analyst at the Polish Automotive Group and Chief Operating Officer at Spline. Hello, and thank you very much for joining us today.
Hello, great to be here.
So, bright, brash, and a little bit socially awkward, Elon Musk loves his attention, but the current situation is definitely not the kind of attention he would seek. What is the best thing that Musk himself can do right now to help Tesla recover?
I think that's a really difficult question, mostly because of the fact that from one side, most of the customers of the Tesla are, let's say, Democrats. And at the moment, he, as a part of government, he is more in Republican So in the end, it's one way or another. He can't help at the moment Tesla, even if he will stay in government. Let's say he will have more opportunities to let's say work with the law, which will help Tesla in United States. And here we can't, forget about the fact that most of the Tesla are sold in US. Let's say 50% of revenue of Tesla is generated in USA. And on the other side, if he will resign from government, it will help to get back customers which are from democratic part and of the society. And for sure, it will help in Europe as the clients are on the same side of politics. So his involvement at the moment doesn't help. And in the end, his next choice, anyway, it will be wrong. So in my opinion, the stocks will still go down, and we will have to wait on the market to see if people will, just forget about it or live with the situation Tesla and Elon Musk is at the moment.
Okay, so time will tell. I want to talk about sales. So sales have dropped significantly. We'll just take a look at some numbers right now. France and Sweden, the Netherlands. And the question is this reflective of the fact that Tesla basically is not the car that meets the current demands of the EV consumer, or perhaps just the general consumer? And maybe you have some other ideas as to why the sales may have dropped, because these are really significant drops.
With market, we have to remember that from one side we have, let's say, private customer, and on the other side we have, for example, rental cars customers. So I mean business. And with EV entirely on the market, there is a problem with the value of them when they are sold on the second market. So I think the good example of the situation all EV brands are at the moment is the fact that Sixt, one of the rental car company, bought plenty of Teslas, with which one he later on had problem with selling back them on the market without losses. So on one side, people are afraid at the moment buying new cars, I mean new EVs, because of the fact that later on it will be difficult to sell them on with correct value. So they will lose quite a lot of what they had invest. So that's one point. On the other side, we have to remember that subsidies in Europe still there, but in many areas we are still looking or waiting countries to resign from subsidies. And all of those situations, I think, make people more uncomfortable. And when we will add geopolitical situation that we have at the moment in Europe with USA, it's kind of easy to see that especially European customers are choosing European products at the moment.
Absolutely. It's a very interesting situation that we're in now, and also reflective in the share prices, which have also plummeted in a spectacular way. Let's bring in another graphic that shows us the numbers, 36% down in Q1. Musk himself says that perhaps this is a good time to buy shares, actually. I wonder what your opinion is on that, and whether this is perhaps just a normal market phenomenon. After all, markets are very emotional. These things go up and down and they change. What are your thoughts on that?
Warren Buffett was always saying that Tesla is overvalued, and in my opinion, it was. At the moment, on the other side, because of the fact how much the stocks went down, it should be a good idea to buy, but it's not kind of investment which will get back to the buyer in a few months. It will take some time for Tesla to get back in S&P 500 to the stock market they had even last year.
But do you think that this is something that is a normal market phenomenon, in the sense that obviously the share price has plummeted in a very unusual way? It's a spectacular drop. But do you think that this is perhaps something that is being people are being too dramatic about it, essentially? Or is there more to it?
It is overreaction. It is overreaction from the market. But when we will think about all of the topics we just mentioned, and especially those not being sure of United States market, government, and adding to that how much CEO of the company is involved in all of the changes in US, that is showing that at the moment there is chaos in Tesla, and everyone who has money hate chaos. So that's why that's the good idea. That was for them good idea to sell stocks of Tesla, and it won't go down like forever. Amount of the stocks ramp down of their costs is especially astonishing. But that's why soon it will end up, and that's why it's also a good time to think about investing and buying them.
We've spoken about the geopolitical situation, and also Musk's profile is peculiar, or some might say very interesting, in that he runs businesses, but he's also involved in the government, even if it's in a temporary way. Do you think that American politics has got in the way of Musk's business acumen?
Sure, I think so. But on the other side, it's connected quite a lot with the government, with what he's doing in the government. That's why we have also ramped down with the stocks value. But we have to be clear that half of the revenue of Tesla is generated in US, and because of that fact, if we will just think that half of the society likes what he's doing at the moment and half of the society doesn't, it will mean that it has to go down before he started to be a part of government. He was just a nerd. He was just genius for some. He was just nerd for some. He was just great investor or great businessman for the others. And at the moment, he lost this kind of position, this kind of place in head of people. Now he is part of the government. So, and that is the reason why now he is loved by half of the people in the United States and hated by the second half.
Maybe this question is more of a marketing question, but I wanted to ask from a sort of business case perspective. Do you think, because Musk is classified as a temporary government employee, and Trump told CNN on Monday that his role in running Doge will come to an end and he actually needs to go back to running his businesses. But I wanted to ask you, do you think that the damage to Tesla is done, in the sense that, people are burning the Teslas, their opinion is being heard? You say that half of America loves Musk, the other half doesn't. But do you think that there is a chance for recovery in terms of Tesla's reputation and the product and Musk himself?
I'm sure about it. People are forgetting. So, in my opinion, it won't happen in 1 week or a few weeks. It will happen in few months, but I'm sure that, let's say, in 1 year perspective, people will just forget about it, what happened at the beginning of 2025. But first of all, he needs to stop being part of the government of the United States to make that happen, to let people forget about his activities at the moment.
So that would suggest that the share price will recover, essentially, with their problem at some point. I wanted to just change the angle a little bit, because now is a time for Tesla to actually be scrutinized. And it emerges that Tesla's technology is actually a little bit questionable, in the sense that there was a study done towards the end of 2024, and it points to Tesla having the highest accident rate per 1,000 cars is 26.67, and a very high fatality rate, 5.6 per billion miles. So it's a very high fatality rate amongst when you compare the car brands in America. So if you, obviously, when it comes to car technology, it's a lot more complex than that. And that's not actually what I want to focus on at the moment. But is this a time when Tesla is actually being scrutinized a lot more in terms of like how Musk runs the brand, how Tesla is actually built, whether Tesla is actually a fad in itself, and actually there's not all that much to Tesla? Do you think that all of that is being scrutinized in a much wider perspective?
It is, because of the fact that Tesla for the most of the time was, let's say, software, and car, it was just a package around the software, and that's why people loved this company. And on the other side, they always had problem with manufacturing, with the quality in the factories. And I think the great example is what is happening in Tesla factory in Berlin. I mean, Gigafactory in Germany, which had like the biggest amount of accidents in entire Europe. And this is just showing, first of all, how this company is behaving in terms of of people well-being of their employee. So they are on the, let's say, on the last place. In the end, they are thinking mostly about the production. So safety in factories is low. The employees' knowledge, experience, and in the end, quality of the car is also low. And this is something which was with them for a pretty long time. And what I'm seeing, you are showing at the moment, Cybertruck, and I think this is also a great example because this was kind of the car for which one people were waiting, and at the moment they have so many manufacturing problem that entire part of them is being called back to the OEM, to Tesla, to be repaired. And the software they have, which people really love, is a lot. It's, I have to say, something like an Apple in the terms of the relation between customer, but the quality also has to be there, especially when we are seeing the quality which is coming with Chinese cars, which grow year by year. This will be interesting to see how BYD, which is improving their revenue and sales every year, will fight with Tesla, which one has better software but lower build quality, and on the other side, BYD has better building quality and worse software.
And just as we wrap up, I wanted to bring up BYD, just like you did. Obviously, when it comes to Tesla, BYD is a strong competitor, and we see that when it comes to the numbers for last month, 20,000 vehicle purchases in Europe last month, outpacing Tesla's 15,700 units. There's always the blame being pointed to China as the competitor, but now as we see the struggles that Tesla is facing, do you think that this is an opportunity for BYD to jump in and really take over the market?
It really is. I think the best example to see how BYD is working in Europe is Poland. For last couple of months, the marketing, the money they invest in brand visibility in Poland was enormous, and this is something which is different from Tesla, which is not building; it's crushing their brand visibility in Europe and in USA. On the other side, we have BYD, which is a Chinese-based company. So we have to remember that Tesla revenue is in 20% built in China, and from there we have BYD, which will grow. So that will mean that the revenue of Tesla in China will further go down, and then let's jump back to Europe, which, as we just showed, is going out from being part of Tesla family. So I mean that the customers are choosing other vehicles, and Chinese markets, Chinese brands were building their awareness in Europe for like many years. BYD is not new brand here. It just started to invest more money, and with same price as Tesla has at the moment for their best cars and the better build quality, it will be just growing. So that will mean that Tesla will have to fight back, maybe with building new cars, or maybe with even further lowering prices of their cars.
Many thanks, Piotr Wyderski, a car industry analyst and at the Polish Automotive Group and Chief Operating Officer at Spline. Thank you so much for your insight today.
Thank you.
And that concludes the bottom line for today. I was your host, Marie Cato. Join us every weekday afternoon at 5:10 CT on TVP World. And for the latest in regional business, follow us on X and on tvpworld.com. And for more news and analysis, stay with us on TVP World. Goodbye.